Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Chad Tofik. I'm the Deputy Chief of the Bureau of Community Policing with the Calgary Police Service. We also have with us our community partners, Alcanna and Patron Scan, here this morning. The Calgary Police Service is pleased to support this important partnership to help address and prevent the ongoing violent thefts and robberies that occur in liquor stores across the province. In the last 14 months, there were more than 2,400 reported thefts and robberies that took place at liquor stores in our city. This crime trend is one that is not unique to Calgary and has been experienced in several other jurisdictions. Beginning today, 2 of Alcanna's liquor stores in Calgary are going to be operating using controlled entrances with the Patron Scan system. To enter the store, customers will be required to scan valid government-issued identification prior to the door unlocking and gaining access. Last year, Alcanna introduced controlled entrances at 4 liquor stores in Edmonton, and the results were extremely remarkable. There was a 94% reduction in product theft and 0 robberies that occurred from January 2020 to January 2021 in stores that had Patron Scan technology installed. We're extremely thankful for the steps Alcanna has taken to prevent violent thefts and robberies by installing these systems in their stores. Alcanna is definitely leading the way in liquor store crime prevention by providing this additional layer of safety for employees and customers alike. I'd now like to welcome Vander, President of Alcanna, to speak.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Vander. I'm the president at Alcanna. Today, we are here to launch Patron Scan in 2 of our Calgary stores. At Alcanna, the safety and security of our store teams is paramount and #1 priority for us. The Alberta Association of Chiefs of Police has called for a province-wide requirement of controlled entrances for all liquor stores. We at Alcanna are confident that this partnership with CPS to introduce controlled entrances in Calgary will show the same drastic reduction in thefts and robberies as our pilot project in Edmonton. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We will now begin the Q&A portion with the members of our media. Questions for CPS will be addressed by Sergeant Nick Wilshire of the CPS Crime Prevention Team. And just a reminder, we also have Vander from Alcanna, and virtually we have Alberio Bathory-Froda from Patron Scan for questions as well. If you have a question, please type question in the question box now. Okay, Tom Ross, please ask your question.
Hi there. For whoever can answer this, I'm curious about concerns around privacy concerns, as the Alberta Privacy Commissioner has launched an investigation last year in the Edmonton pilot to make sure that all laws are complied with. Is there anything you can speak to about ensuring that privacy laws are followed with this project?
Sure, I can answer that one. This is Alberta with Patron Scan. So the Privacy Commissioner has looked at our technology. We've been in Alberta for over 10 years now. They have looked at our technology in the past. We have always been found to comply. Anytime there has been any recommendations from them, we have always implemented those recommendations. They did start a public investigation into us. This has been now over 15 months. Honestly, we expected this to be done by last summer. Their office did say that they were going to be done by the end of the summer, last summer. We're still waiting to hear back from them, but we have worked with them throughout this. We've communicated with their office more than a dozen times throughout this whole process. We have implemented any recommendations they have made. So I have zero issues, and I truly believe that this is going to come back and they're going to find us compliant, just like we have been every other time they have looked at our technology. But I also should mention that in Alberta, there's legislation as part of the Alberta Gaming, Liquor, and Cannabis Act that allows for licensed premises to scan IDs. And Alcanna is scanning IDs at licensed premises. So there's legislation that specifically allows them to use this technology at what they're doing. The other thing I'll mention on as well is Patronscan is the world's leading provider of ID scanning technology around the world. We have, we are a Canadian firm based out of Alberta, but we have our technology being used throughout North America, United Kingdom, Australia, and New Zealand. And the success of this technology is that it keeps the customers and employees safe. Alcanna is just one of many success stories. The success of Patronscan, it would not be possible unless we could assure our clients and their customers that their personal data is secure and that their personal information is never shared nor sold. So in the end of it, we are in the business of protecting patrons, not data collection. Our technology prevents crime and it helps solve crimes. This is why our technology is used at liquor stores, nightclubs, casinos, rental car agencies, hotels, entertainment venues, and basically it's used wherever personal safety or property is at risk. Thank you.
Thank you, Alberio. Jason, go ahead, please.
Yeah, thanks. I guess just going off of this privacy question, I wanted to ask CPS whether there's any concerns about privacy bringing this in while this investigation from the privacy commissioner is still ongoing.
Sergeant Nick Wilshire of Calgary Police for Crime Prevention. Yeah, we were aware as we went in with this that there is the investigation by the Privacy Commissioner, but we're very happy that as Patron Scan have repeatedly over many other instances worked with privacy commissioners. We know that they'll be able to resolve this issue. And for us, our main concern is the actual workers and customers in the liquor stores when these thefts and robberies occur. We've seen security footage that does show not just staff, but also members of the public who just went in to buy their liquor being bear sprayed or beaten by these people who just go into the store and steal as much liquor as they can. And the staff and the patrons, a lot of the times, are just trying to run for cover. They're not trying to stop these people, but this still occurs. So it's a big concern for those individuals who are the victims of crime. That is our sole purpose of really supporting this, is because it's protecting the victims of this crime.
Thank you, Sergeant. Jenna Freeman with Global, please ask your question.
Hi, I'm just wondering if there's any concern about people, just swiping somebody else's ID or a fake ID when they go in. I mean, what's to stop somebody from doing that?
I'll talk about the technology. So the Patron Scan technology can detect fake IDs. So if not fake ID, and they're pretty prevalent these days, you can buy them fairly cheap off of online websites. It's a cat and mouse game. Luckily, we have a network throughout the world where we're scanning 1 million people every 2 weeks. So we're always on top of it and able to catch fake IDs as they come. And we implement it, we put it in our system, and all of our systems are updated immediately on that.
And sorry, I'll just follow up with that. What if I just use somebody else's ID, for example?
If you use a valid ID, it will scan through. However, if you do cause a crime, there is the functionality that allows for them to flag your ID. So that next time you scan, it will either block entry or notify somebody.
I'll add some context to this. Our staff also physically verifies and checks IDs while providing service. So if there is a fake ID or someone else's ID is being used, it will be caught at the same time when staff checks for ID. Thank you.
Thank you. Terry from CBC, please ask your question.
Hi, my questions were mostly asked and Jenna just asked my last one. So thanks, Jenna. But I think, I guess my follow-up question to the Privacy Commission inquiry is why, it was said last year that that Alcanna or Patron Scan would wait until the inquiry was done in order to grow. And this is being done before it is done. Why not just wait? What's the rush to do this when the inquiry is not completed yet?
I'll speak on behalf of the Patron Scan side. We never said that we were going to wait. What we did say is that we would work with their office, not unlike the other previous times they have looked at our technology. There has been, they have looked at our technology multiple times. We've been in this province for over 10 years. Every single time they have found us to comply. Every other time it hasn't been the public one where it's out in the media, they do it. They investigate it, they look at our stuff, we answer, and we provide that information. We've always been found to comply. So on our side, we never said that we were gonna not go forward with the project. We said that we're gonna work closely with them, which we have. I'll let Alcanna speak on behalf of themselves, but I should point out once again that there's legislation in Alberta that specifically allows for them to scan IDs and collect the personal information that they are collecting. This is legislation that's been around for over 10 years as well, and allows for them to go forward and use the technology.
Just a quick follow-up question. What's the long game of this? I mean, this is a test pilot. What's the timeline? What's the hope here of Alcanna's a really big company. That's a lot of liquor stores that could possibly have this technology. What is the realistic timeline of expanding into dozens? And I don't know who can answer that, if it's Alcanna or Patronscan.
I'll let Alcanna speak on behalf of that. Obviously, it's a public
or Officer Wilshire.
Just to give kind of the police perspective on this as to why we feel the need to move forward, it's because of the victims that we're seeing come from this. Like I say, over and over again, when you watch these security footage, it's quite harrowing to see that there are staff members and members of the public. They're not trying to stop these people from carrying out their theft or their robbery. A lot of the times they're trying to escape, but over and over again, they're being attacked. And it's that we cannot see continue on, which is why we are supporting this, because we want to reduce those victims of crime, because these are very violent crimes, and the effect that it has on these people afterwards is quite dramatic. Some of them just cannot return back to work, and that's not something that we want to see continue or happen.
To answer the question about how long it will take and what impact it has, I will have Taylor Mann, our Director of Securities at Alcanna, answer these questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think Calgary Police really answered that question well as to why time is of the essence. For 2 years now, we've been trending towards a avoidable tragedy here. So we can't sit back and wait for a 15-month investigation while the public safety is at risk. As for the expansion of this project, we're trying to do it. We're working with many levels of government here to try to get some sort of mandated approach. Last thing we want to do is disperse the crime to other companies, to other people. We've been working with other companies, trying to get collaboration from many levels here. We don't want to disperse crime to other stores. We want to end it. And at the end of the day, a tragedy is a tragedy, whether it happens on our property or on somebody else's. Thank you.
Am I still unmuted? Am I still
Yes, you're
unmuted?
still unmuted.
Okay, that's good to know. I don't know if the answer was given about what the expansion plan is. Like, what's the hope for the timeline of expanding I mean, how long this pilot will be and expansion from there into other stores? And that's my last question. Sorry, everyone.
Sure, I can try to answer that better for you. So at the end of the day, we're doing it step by step. This is officially phase 2. So the official launch of phase 2 of this pilot. Like you say, we're working with many levels of government to try to get a mandated approach here. We're trying to work with other businesses as well to join this project. So we don't have an actual hard timeline here as to when we're going to expand. But again, we're really trying to work with government to have some sort of mandated approach so we don't disperse the crime, we end it.
Thank you. Tom Ross again, please ask your question.
Yeah, just to hop off the privacy train, is there any consideration about cannabis stores for police or Alcanna, since Alcanna does operate cannabis stores? Is there any need for this type of technology for those locations as well? Any plans on that?
Absolutely. So nothing's off the table for the future here. We're more than willing to work with other cannabis retailers as different crime trends present themselves. The great thing about this technology is really adaptable in so many different fields.
Jason, did you have another question?
Yeah, just wanted to ask which stores would be getting this technology.
So that information is listed in our press release, but as well, Tank can speak to that.
2 stores that are in the pilot project in Calgary is Ace Liquor Discounter at Crossroads and Ace Liquor at TransCanada. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, is there any more questions from the media at this time? I'll just give it a second. Terry, go ahead.
Yeah, just a quick question about the businesses that are listed. There's more than 2 listed, so I just want to clarify. It's just the top 2 Ace Liquor, not the other ones that were listed in the release. The North Hill one, those are off the table.
So yeah, just underneath that part, it does say that in mid-May those will be part of the pilot project a couple of weeks after. But the 2 that are launching today were listed the top 2. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, Nancy just answered my question. Thank
you. Thanks for clarifying.
Okay, I think that wraps up all the questions that were had here from the media. So there's nothing else. I think this can conclude our conference for today. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining, and we'll talk to you later.